Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 3 of That Ratty Show starring Dustin Hopkins. Got a lot to talk about tonight. It's going to be a fun night. So to start with, I want to show you guys this awesome Nintendo NES game that popped up. It's a great game actually. I don't know, this one was kind of underrated, I found out, like in the late 80s and early 90s. A lot of people didn't like this game, and I can't figure out why. It's Predator starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and yeah, it's great. It's a side-scrolling game for the NES, obviously. One thing about this, it has really nice images. Beyond, not just talking about the game, but the images on it are like saved right from the movie. It's super cool that the NES could power something with that superior graphics for its time. So yeah, like I said, strolling back to the 80s, they had the Atari 2600 back then. Now, that came out a little bit before I was born in 1984. I didn't really like the Atari 2600 that much. I think that we weren't there where we needed to be minimum, graphically speaking, and probably audio speaking as well. But yeah, luckily the Nintendo NES came right after the Atari 2600. We were all saved as gamers because we finally had a great game system. Here's some Nintendo NES games here from the 80s. Super good, yeah. And however, later on, after the Nintendo NES, there was an Atari release that I really liked in spite of my opinion of the Atari 2600. Now this is called the Atari Jaguar. That would be the poster up here. It was released in 1995. Now that's an amazing game system to me. I think when it came out, the slogan was "Do the math," and that it was 64-bit, and it actually is theoretically. But some people debated whether they used all the bits in each game or not. To me, it doesn't matter. I mean, I can pick out games with my knowledge that are minimum 32-bit. So it's just that was a great game system, the Atari Jaguar, and still is. Going back to talk about Atari, I have something. This goes back to the 80s. This is really neat, actually. So the Atari 2600, like I said, late 70s, early 80s, didn't really catch on for me. Graphics weren't good enough, unfortunately. But but I do like the Atari Jaguar there. So this game here, there is a lot of controversy about this game. I'm really lucky I scored this from my friend in high school, Brett. So that's how I obtained this game. But it's E.T. for the Atari 2600. I played it recently just to try it out, and it was just like what they showed on the internet and in the Angry Gamer Nerd movie, which we should talk about in a little bit. But apparently what happened is this Atari ET game for the Atari 2600, whoever programmed it, and I know you can find out the names on Google, but whoever programmed it with a map of the interior of Area 51. And now that upset some people, needless to say, because Area 51 is a highly secured area in the USA. So they were upset that this game came to be and it had a map of Area 51. So what happened was they took the majority of these games, went out into the American desert and buried them 15 feet under the earth. Just buried these old games because people were so upset about the map to Area 51, and plus a lot of people thought it was a crappy game. I mean, it's not fair to say. I don't like it either, but it's, that's why it's an Atari 2600, right? So yeah. So it's pretty cool stuff from the 80s again. Oh, look what I found. Oh, a beer. So I've been yakking. I'm just gonna have a sip of this now. Right. Oh, it's good beer. Black Label. I think we should talk about next Double Dragon 2 for the NES. Just give me a minute though. Good beer. Okay. Let's dig down this 1980 stack of good games here. Now this one's radical here. Okay, Double Dragon 2 came out in 1989, the perfect point in time for Nintendo to add really great rock music. Sort of the synthesizer music of the 80s. I like it personally, but I'm not here to tell people what kind of music to listen to. And anyways, this has got it. Lots of synthesizer music from the 80s. And it's called Double Dragon 2 for the Nintendo NES. It's a superb game here. And I do mean, in its time, this one, and we actually had one, I was young, but this was pretty superior game in action. Sort of like when Nintendo NES came out, people went, wow, look at the graphics. Or even with a more modern day game system like Xbox. People were impressed with, graphically speaking, when it first came out. So yeah, another sip here. Cheers. It's almost Christmas. Good times all it. Okay, so Double Dragon 2, here it is. I haven't beat it yet, but I hope to soon. Anyhow, those are my 80s games. And yeah, my favorite thing tonight was the ET. I'm glad I got to talk to you guys about that, and it's been fun. There's some nice Nintendo NES games. I just gotta find some more material to come up with, some more stuff to show you guys, but it's been fun. Thanks for tuning in. I got a jet, so peace out from Dustin Hopkins and That Right 80 Show, episode 3.